Thank you so much for being here. It's so nice to see all of you. Will you take a breath with me in gratitude for this opportunity to share ideas? Thank you. Now we are connected in breath. Have you ever heard that all life is connected? Thank you. If you don't believe in the interconnectedness of life, I ask you to suspend that disbelief for a time. Let's start with a forest, a community of trees. Trees, like people, need connection to thrive. Have you ever craved connection in your life? Thank you. When I was young, I was kind of a loner. I didn't know how to connect to humans because I thought they didn't like me. I never felt ostracized by a tree. I always felt welcome when I climbed in their branches and walked between their trunks. With the trees, I felt like I could be myself. Did any of you feel like you didn't belong? Thank you. I was kind of an outcast. I did well in school. I got a scholarship to a good college, and in my efforts to fit in, I found myself pregnant at 19. I felt my dreams were shattered as I moved back to the land I grew up on with my mom. Little did I know, I was opening up a whole new world of wonder. My mom had this walk she liked to take almost every day. Sometimes I would go with her. We would walk up one trail and down another, and at the end of the walk, we went to visit this tree she had named Grandpa Cedar. Now, this ritual had been going on for several years, and one day my mom had gone to Hawaii, and I decided to go for the walk by myself. So I walked up the trail, I walked down the trail, and I went to visit Grandpa Cedar. I opened my arms wide and I gave that tree a hug. I inhaled the sweet fragrance of cedar. Have any of you ever felt called to hug a tree? Thank you. Who thinks I'm a crazy tree hugger? Thank you. Maybe I am crazy. Maybe I just really needed connection in that moment. But it felt like that tree needed connection as much as I did. I felt like the tree was holding me there and didn't want to let me go. It felt like the tree was saying, "Where is that lady who visits me every day? I miss her." So I imagined my mother sitting on the beach in Hawaii, and I said in my mind, "Grandpa Cedar, please look out for my mother way over there across the ocean." And then I gently withdrew my energy. I said, "Don't worry, we'll stay connected." And I walked back to my little house with my sweet baby boys. The next morning, I woke before dawn and I sat in meditation. I sent my awareness back to that tree, and it was as if Grandpa Cedar took me on a journey. I found myself floating in an electrical web, like a fiber optic network of communication circling the entire globe. I felt as if I were connected to every tree on the planet in that moment. Have you ever had an experience that you could not explain? Thank you. Yeah, I was feeling this so powerfully. I called my mom, and this is the really weird part. She said to me, "Wow, I can't believe this because Grandpa Cedar came to me on the beach yesterday." And this experience really changed my life. Years later, I found an explanation. Does anyone know who Paul Stamets is? Nice, some of you. If you don't know, he is a mushroom expert. He wrote a book called Mycelium Running. It's all about a network of mushroom roots that connect the roots of the trees. Through this network, the trees share nutrients and communication. It looks like a neuron in a mammal brain. They call this the brain of the forest. Who knew the forest has a brain? Wow, right? That's pretty amazing. Since then, I've learned more amazing things about trees. The redwood trees, the biggest, tallest trees in the world, they don't reach their roots deep down into the ground to find water. They spread their roots wide. They connect with each other. They hold each other up. Trees share nutrients. Strong trees share with weak trees and keep them alive. Older trees share with little trees so they can grow big and strong. And they don't even only share with their own species. Paper birches send carbon to Douglas fir trees when the leafier trees are blocking the light, and the Douglas firs return the favor in the fall when the birches lose their leaves. In Africa, the giraffes like to eat acacia trees. The trees don't like it much. So they have a solution. They produce a toxin. This toxin stops the giraffes from eating them, and as soon as one tree gets bitten, it sends a message to all the other trees in the forest, and then the giraffes have to go a mile or more to find food. Can you believe that? We have so much to learn from the trees. We can learn to be grounded in the moment, doing whatever is needed to weather all the seasons. We can learn to walk the delicate balance between shadow and light, filling our space powerfully while still leaving room for others. The tree grows big and strong, but still it feels the other trees around it. It leaves space for all the trees to thrive in the forest. Every tree is honored for the place that it holds in the whole. Imagine if people did this. Imagine if we lifted each other up. Imagine if we shared our communication with compassion to encourage each other's success. Imagine we create roots of connection and share our nutrients. People, like trees, need connection to thrive. Do you believe that people need connection? Thank you. This is something I'm still learning. In this modern world, we're taught to value our individuality above all else. We're taught to have fear of someone taking what is ours. To a large degree, we have lost the value of community as we become more connected through technology. So I ask you, if you don't believe that we need connection, to look at attachment theory research. This theory was proposed and studied by John Bowlby. He studied this in the late 1930s. He took 44 thieves and 44 upstanding young men. He found that more than half of those thieves had been separated from their mothers more than 6 months under the age of 5. Many of these subjects also developed a condition called affectionless psychopathy, where they became incapable of feeling affection or developing lasting and meaningful relationships. Scientists have corroborated these studies over the years. It has been shown time and time again, people who develop deep, healthy relationships at an early age have improved mental and physical health, better functioning stress response. Infants have even been known to die when not offered adequate touch. Humans need connection to thrive. Are you ready to invite deeper connection? Thank you. If that's a little scary for some of you, go ahead and start with superficial connection. Just make a phone call to a long-lost friend or relative. Smile at a stranger walking in the street. Maybe as you're walking through the door, you hold it open for the person coming out, creating space for everyone, just like the trees in the forest. Okay, now we've established people and trees both need connection. Did you know people also need trees and trees need people? Thank you. If you didn't raise your hand, remember, trees produce oxygen and breathe carbon dioxide, and humans reciprocate. We are in a constant cycle of life together. We share our breath. Let's take a deep breath in honor of these amazing trees. Thank you. Now, some of you may think trees are most useful as paper or wood. There are many fast-growing fibers that make better paper than trees. And while wood is beautiful and useful, trees are most useful while living. Trees create shade. They protect us from the wind. The roots hold the soil in place so that it doesn't flow away with the rain. The trees filter the air. They mitigate climate change. Just like in my vision with Grandpa Cedar, the trees create a vital network supporting all life. Without trees, we won't survive long. And humans have already decimated over 80% of the world's natural forests. When we cut down trees, we don't just harvest wood, we destroy entire ecosystems. People need trees to thrive. We are not separate from nature. We are a part of nature. People need trees, and trees need people. The trees need us to nurture them, to give them room to grow, to protect them. I believe trees also like to be appreciated, just like humans. And guess what? There's evidence of this. People have done a study with plants where they're given all the same conditions for growth, except one is given love and affection, and the other one is insulted or yelled at. Oh, I'm sorry, I love you too. Invariably, the plant that is given affection thrives, and the one that is verbally abused wilts, just like people. If you want to watch a video on this, you can search Google for bullied plant. It's kind of fun. At the HeartMath Institute, they have found evidence of the interconnectivity of all life through Earth's biomagnetic field. They are studying how trees affect humans and how trees respond to human emotions. I expect much more evidence to be uncovered as the scientists delve into this vast area of study. So earlier, you said you wanted deeper connection. Who would like a deeper connection with yourself? Thank you. I propose to you to connect more deeply to yourself. Take some time to connect to nature. In Japan, forest bathing, or shin-yoku, is a cornerstone of preventive health and healing protocols. This practice was instituted in the 80s, and in this practice, you walk into a forest, walk slowly through, stop here and there to take in the environment with all of your senses. Science has shown that forest bathing increases immunity, reduces stress and blood pressure, improves sleep cycles, even creates a quicker healing from injury and illness. And many of us also experience increased intuition, more happiness, more life force energy, and sometimes even communication with the land. So who's in? Who's willing to see what the forest has to offer? Thank you. Here's your assignment. Go find a forest or a park. Walk slowly through. Feel the earth beneath your feet. Find a tree to visit. Maybe just walk to the first one you see. Look up at the branches spreading over your head. Follow the trunk down. Imagine the roots deep and wide beneath your feet. Listen to the sounds. Maybe you hear a rustling of the wind or forest creatures. Maybe you feel a deep, profound silence. Approach the tree and touch it. Feel the smoothness or roughness of the bark. Inhale the fragrance it emits. Maybe there's even a taste that you feel in your mouth. Take some time to experience the forest with all of your senses. You are bound to benefit your health physically, emotionally, mentally, and even spiritually. If you take time in nature, you may find yourself connecting more deeply to your true self. You may find that through expanding your capacity for connection, you improve your experience of life. You might even find yourself having an easier time connecting to humans. Remember, you are a part of nature. You are not separate from it. All life is connected. Thank you.